Hi, this is Kay. I like to show you 2 lemon-based drinks that are very, very ketogenic friendly. They're also paleo friendly, and heck, they're friendly on really any kind of diet. And one drink is primarily something to aid digestion, something that helps clean your liver, helps increase stomach acids for the sake of digestion, helps your bile flow, and is a very good source of electrolytes. Another drink is something that's also lemon-based that we drink between meals just because it tastes really good and it's very, very hydrating. The first drink is the one that I make for meals to help digestion, besides being full of vitamins and minerals and a great source of electrolytes and trace minerals. It's specifically to have with meals. First of all, the first ingredient I like to put in, which comes from ginger like this. We take about this much ginger that we wash it and peel it, cut it up, put it in that Vitamix with 1 quart of water once a week, and we get enough ginger that we label because you don't want to take a swig out of this. You'll gag, it's too strong. This amount of ginger goes in the Vitamix to make this much ginger juice. Again, once a week. We even label the top so we don't accidentally grab this and swig from it and have a big surprise, okay? Ginger does all kinds of things. It's in the turmeric family. It's related to turmeric, and it's very anti-inflammatory, very germ-killing, very stimulating of blood flow, and it actually helps bile flow too. So just with meals, because we don't want our bile to flow all day. We want it to flow with meals to aid that food. At that time, we want your body to save up the bile in between meals. That's why grazing is bad, because you got to save up your bile, and intermittent fasting or not snacking between meals is really good, so your liver can store up the bile to use at a meal and not squander it. So we start with what comes out to 1 or 2 tablespoons, and I'm not one to measure very much. You can tell it's been around a few days and little bits drip on the edge there. So let's say this is for 1 meal. It's my husband's jar. And I pour what feels like maybe 2 tablespoons, okay, in there. And this is my jar, so we can tell them apart and who drank what. Not that we're afraid to share germs, okay. Keep in the refrigerator, of course. And again, I do this once a week for supply for meals. Second ingredient, which is about a table. I shake it up first because the rich nutrients settle at the bottom. This is organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. That's all that good stuff where it's not filtered out. And I put in a similar amount of it, which is a tablespoon or 2, about that much, in both of these. And by the way, these travel well to work in a lunchbox, since we do not like to buy food that we didn't make at home. And this is pre-squeezed lemon juice from real lemons. This is not the lemon juice from a bottle for this purpose, because when you get it from a bottle, even if it's organic, it's pasteurized, which kills the enzymes and the vitamin C. But there's still a lot of minerals and a lot of certain acids that increase your stomach acid and aid digestion. Because your stomach pH should be between 1 and 3, actually quite acidic, so that you don't get acid reflux. It keeps a little flap on top of the stomach closed so the acid doesn't splash upward. And it helps break down your food so that when it passes into the small intestine, that it is more well digested and it doesn't putrefy there. So this here is about 2 servings, which is about 4 lemons, about 2 lemons each. You don't have to do that much. We just like that much. We love the flavor. Just kind of spread that out. Little seed got in there, but since we don't have diverticulitis, we're okay with a little lemon seed. Okay, so then we sweeten it with stevia. You might have heard me say in other videos that be really careful with your stevia. This is These are 2 sizes, and there are sizes in between. This is a 6 months to a year's worth. This is a little can of it. This is my own container where I fill this from that one. I put a date on top. It's the date I bought it, so I know how long it lasted. This stevia is 100% organic and nothing else. You don't want to buy stevia with any other ingredients because they put a lot of stuff in there that's not healthy. So, I'm not much for advertising brands, but stevia is critical to get pure. In here, 1 serving is that little tiny scoop. That's why there's 622 servings in this little container, because there are no fillers, there's no maltodextrin, and there's no flowing agents, just 100% organic stevia. This size, with all that ginger, lemon juice, and vinegar, will take 2 to 3 scoops. I'm going to put 2 in each one. Okay. And because a ketogenic diet requires a bit more salt, and I believe most people do not consume enough salt anyway, because by the way, your blood is supposed to be almost identical to seawater with just a little less salt. This is unrefined sea salt, happens to be extracted from the clean side of the Great Salt Lake. It's an old inland sea, and it's called Redmond real salt. That's the one I think is it's my favorite. It tastes great, and I think it's the most balanced in minerals, which you can see the little speckles of color, which are minerals. And it's not refined. That's why those minerals are still in there. And what I like to do is take, in the summertime, I double this, by the way, because you really lose your salt. But see, that's a 1/4 teaspoon. I do about half of that per jar when it's not hot summertime, or you didn't just work out and get real sweaty. Okay? Then, the water I add to this has gone through my distiller, and in this pitcher, I put 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of concentrates trace mineral drops. They are also from the clean side of the Great Salt Lake. That's in here, and I distilled it first. So everything's taken out, and then I put in concentrates. Comes in off brands too. Now, I fill it mostly full. Don't like to drink it real cold because cold things are bad for your stomach. Your stomach involves a lot of muscle and secretions, and when it's too cold in there, they can't secrete right and muscles get tight. Like when you work out, you don't want cold muscles, right? You want them warm. It's the same with your stomach. So we might put a little bit of ice in here just so it doesn't get yucky. And what we do is I stir it really well with our community spoon. You don't care, I'm not serving this to you, okay? I stir them really well. And then what we do with it is, you're not supposed to dump a bunch of liquid on top of your food because you'll wash out digestive juices. So we drink a little bit before the meal, sip a little before the meal. I'm going to lick this and put it back in the community glass. And then we also sip a little during the meal. So we're not flushing, kind of like if you were to hose off, some dirt or rinse off a dish. If you hose off all your digestive fluids, they're not there with your food. And so we have little sips before, little sips during, and a little sips after our meal. So I go like this and set them aside. We're going to have ours in a little bit when we eat. Now I want to show you what we do in a family community jar with a different kind of lemon juice, because we kind of cheat a little for the one that's not with meals, where it's okay if it's organic, and there's several brands of pure organic lemon juice. There are no carbohydrates and no sugars in here to count. So it's very, very, very friendly with a ketogenic diet or any carb restricted or sugar restricted diet. And this is just convenient. We know that the enzymes are destroyed by the temperature of pasteurizing, which might be about 160 degrees. We know it probably killed the vitamin C, but all the minerals are still in here and the acids that help your digestion. So I will take this and shake it just a little bit, jiggle it a little, make sure nothing settled too much on the bottom. And I will pour in about 1/2 inch to 1 inch to this quart jar. And then in this one, Now this one's for any time. This one is just to have a nice drink that's really hydrating. I will take one approximately full scoop here. This is 1/4 teaspoon. This is where I put my bulk stevia in from that can that I buy every 6 months to a year. And the surprise ingredient is unrefined sea salt, because it helps hydrate you. If you just drink water without minerals and then you flush it out with your waste and your sweat and your breath, everywhere water leaves you, it takes minerals out and you didn't put any in with it. So this is a good remedy. And in a quart jar, when it's not summertime, I put a whole 1/4 teaspoon. When it's summertime, we're out in the heat a lot, I will put 2 of these in here. It doesn't make it taste bad. I've been out working in the heat and playing with landscaping blocks and gardening and all that kind of stuff, and take a jar of this with me. I'd be just like, oh my gosh, this is really, really exhausting, and I'm getting hot and overheated. And I take a couple slugs of this, and it's like my energy comes back, because minerals conduct energy. I know you've seen people pour things before, perhaps even into a blue glass quart jar. But just to show you what I do, go like this. This one's stored in the refrigerator. You're not supposed to drink things very cold. We will get some of this cold. We just don't slug it. I drink about 1 inch or 2 at a time, maybe every hour or two, so that I gently stay hydrated. If you drink too much at one time and your body can't use it, you just flush it out. And this helps all these electrolytes enter your body nice and gradually, because it uses them gradually. And there you go. That one goes in the refrigerator. We're going to use these tonight, so we won't refrigerate these right now. And this one's just stay in the refrigerator, and it tastes really good. This stevia, which I'm not advertising for it, I'm more so concerned that you don't get bad stevia, and that's why I'm mentioning the brand. And before your health, I'm mentioning my favorite brand of unrefined sea salt. But this stevia, unlike other stevias, it even tastes good in coffee. It tastes good in everything. All the desserts we make, the drinks we make, and it also tastes good in coffee. Probably just as good as sugar. Unlike all the other stevias, they just don't taste as good. So there. That's my plan. That's what I do, and I love it. And it makes us feel really good. Makes great digestion. The lemon and the ginger help keep your liver really clean, and the malic acid in apple cider vinegar is used by people, for example, with fibromyalgia for pain. So awesome, wonderful foods, and these wonderful, healthy, organic acids absolutely do help your digestion and your energy. And that would be about it.